Oh. Hello there. Did you want something? Are you expecting a review? Well, hate to disappoint, but I don't have one. Truth is, it's been hard to get back at this. Really, it has. It's just hard to keep it up. Been very busy. Just haven't had a whole lot of time to really work on anything. Truth be told, I don't even know if I have a lot left to give in this on this channel. So yeah, I don't know what you guys were expecting. I'm sorry. I really am. I wish I could be doing more of this, but just not a whole lot of time. So that's all I really got. If you like the video, I guess you could give a thumbs up. It's not much, but I'm just gonna sit here and watch some stuff, and you guys can, I don't know, go watch another reviewer. Okay. What part of me being done do you not understand? Okay, I'm not doing a review, okay? I know what you're trying to do here. I know what you're doing. You're trying to coax me into doing a review. Well, it's not gonna work, alright? As I told you, I'm done, alright? I have no time for reviewing anymore, okay? So just let me relax, okay? Screw TV, right? I'm done. Let's dig up. No. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna tell me it's my responsibility. That I'm the reviewer that people need, not the one they deserve, or whatever pretentious line you can come up with. But the answer is no. You know full well why I can't do this anymore. And I have made peace with it, okay? So that is that, and there is nothing more to discuss. Oh, I see how it is. You don't think I have what it takes anymore, is that it? You don't think I have what it takes to be the film adventurer. Well, who are you to talk, you and your fedora, and your plot pen, and your shoes? You know what? I'm gonna go out there and review something. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna show them, I'm gonna show everybody. I'm gonna do it, and that's it, and you can't stop me! I was just gonna tell them to get milk. Alright, fine. You want me to review something? I'll review something. But let's get one thing clear. This is a one-time thing only. By no means is this some clever way for me to revitalize my passion for reviewing films, nor is it some clever scheme where we'll restart my whole series that will last about, 5 years. Okay? Alright. So, what am I going to review? I've covered a lot of things over the years. Granted, most of it's gone. That's what I'll do. I'm going to re-review something. Better yet, if I'm going to go out, I may as well go back to the first movie that I ever reviewed online. The 2007 animated epic about a hero who simply loved his own name. Beowulf. Readers have known the epic poem of this hero for many years. Few have seen any movies on the tale. Well, there are a few sci-fi movies out there, but I guess I can leave that to Decker Shadow to review. Anyways, a major production of Beowulf came out in 2007, with the film being directed by none other than Robert Zemeckis. Zemeckis, known for movies such as Back to the Future and Forrest Gump, became fond of motion capture thanks to his film The Polar Express. So he decided to make Beowulf his second feature in this format, and the movie was received with mixed results. So, has Beowulf stood the test of time? Well, let's find out, shall we, by singing that hero's song just one more time. This is the Cinematic Adventure to Beowulf. Our movie begins in the mead halls of Hrothgar, where the villagers are partying like it's, well, whatever year it is. Thank you. Well, everyone is having a great time. Well, except the Queen, played by Robin Wright. She just looks dismal, and will continue to keep that expression throughout the entire film. Also at the event is Unferth, played by John Malkovich. And may I say, the ways of Malkovich are in full effect.
This is how it works, Asa. After you die, you wouldn't really be dead, providing you have accepted him as the one and only God.
No, not really. He seems quite subtle. You think he'd be doing something outlandish?
Where's my mead? You're spilling it. You're spilling it. Hey.
Yeah, close enough. Last and certainly not least is King Hrothgar himself, played by legendary actor Anthony Hopkins.
In this hall, we shall divide the spoils of our conquest, the gold and the treasure, and this shall be a place of merriment, joy, and fornication.
Where did this come from? Yes, the festivity has the whole kingdom in joy, but unfortunately the party does wake the neighbors. And by neighbors, I mean a 10-foot monster. Well, there are worse neighbors to have. This is Grendel, played by Crispin Glover. This monstrous behemoth has the ability to create blue flames for reasons, and has super hearing for other reasons. Grendel proceeds to toss to people like rag dolls, and this sequence has more animated blood than an average anime. Okay, maybe not that much blood, but it's still pretty bloody. This is gruesome. This is vile. But then again, I have heard worse excuses to drink. Hrothgar challenges the beast, and we'll see who wins this duel. The monstrous behemoth, or the drunken portly king? Apparently the drunken portly king wins. We see Grendel return to his lair, where he's confronted by his mysterious mother.
Fish and wolf and bear, and sheep or two, ach none, men.
Men.
If you don't know, the two are actually speaking Old English. Now, you probably like some kind of subtitles to understand the context of the scene, but you should have known your own English by now, so shame on you. With the attack of Grendel, the people are now frightened, as they never know when the monster is going to strike next. Of course, it's actually they who provoked the monster, so you can't help but kind of feel a little sorry for him, but that's not important right now. What is important is that Denmark is in need of a hero by the name of Beaver. Beowulf. This is Beowulf, played by Ray Winstone. He's accompanied by his fellow Geats and close friend Wiglaf, played by Brendan Gleeson. Beowulf and his crew sail to Denmark to take up Hrothgar's challenge of free mead. Oh, and to fight Grendel, but mostly getting free mead. The Geats arrive to Denmark, and it's here we discover something about Beowulf.
I'm Beowulf. I'm here to kill your monster.
He likes hearing his name in the third person. Beowulf arrives to the kingdom where he meets Hrothgar, who in fact knew Beowulf's father. But that detail is not important. Beowulf also meets the queen and proceeds to hit on her. Right in front of the king. Beowulf, champion of champions! So Beowulf convinces Hrothgar to open the mead halls again so they can lure in Grendel. Or they just want to get drunk. Whichever one comes first. However, though many are excited for Beowulf's arrival, one is not convinced that Beowulf is the hero he says to be. Unferth heard rumors that Beowulf lost a swimming race to another hero, which makes the advisor disapprove of Beowulf's abilities. Well, unless Beowulf's going to challenge Grendel to a swimming contest, I think we might be okay. However, rather than striking down Unferth where he stands, Beowulf tells the story about how he raced against this fellow hero, and even though he was tired from swimming, Beowulf managed to fight sea monster after sea monster after sea monster, and the more you think about it, the more it sounds like an excuse. Beowulf, champion of champions! Oh, I almost forgot. And to this day, I still wonder if Beowulf is in fact a Pokemon. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who is this mermaid? What does she have to do with the story? And how did Beowulf survive this underwater encounter, seeing he was just dragged into the sea's depths? Well, the answer to all this is quite simple. Despite Beowulf's story, Unferth is still not convinced, so Beowulf does the next best thing.
I have another true thing to tell you, Unther Kinslayer. If your strength and heart was as strong and fierce as your words, Grendel would not feel free to murder and gorge on your people without fear of retaliation. Tonight will be different. Tonight he will find geats waiting for him, not frightened sheep.
I guess the Geat way is when in doubt, hurl out insults like a school grader. The night approaches, and as the Geats await Grendel, Hrothgar shows Beowulf his prized dragon horn, which is in no way a plot device. As Hrothgar goes to bed, the Queen plays a song for Beowulf that is used in both Alan Silvestri's score and the credit song sung by Idina Menzel. You'll hear no complaints from me. As the Queen tries to explain things to Beowulf that I'm sure will have no ramifications whatsoever, Beowulf does this.
We shall fight as equals, and fate shall decide.
So Beowulf, this famous hero, decides to fight a creature that he doesn't know what it looks like or what it can do by stripping naked. Give me one moment to think about this.
So, nudity makes you stronger on this planet.
That sounds about right. Beowulf and his Geats are left alone to face Grendel, and they plan on luring in the beast by singing. And sure enough, it works. You know, it's possible that Grendel's attacks are just due to lousy singing. The Geats try their best to fight the monster, but unfortunately Grendel proves to be too much for even these warriors. No, not that guy! He was the greatest of them all. However, things change when Beowulf steps in and shows off his great strength and agility. I guess being naked allows him to use his full abilities. That makes sense. As the battle goes on, Beowulf discovers that Grendel has a weakness. A monster with a giant bulge in his head. I wonder what it's going to be. And for a second there, I thought it was going to be the shin. Destroying Grendel's ear, the monster shrinks for some reason and decides to flee. But being the hero that he is, Beowulf traps his injured opponent into the door and utters the mighty words of remembered for about a month.
Mine is strength and lust and power. I am Beowulf!
So, who are you again?
Beowulf!
Who?
Beowulf!
Who?
Beowulf!
Who?
Beowulf!
Who?
I am Beowulf!
So your name's Ben. With his arm torn off, Grendel has been slain. Well, then again, he could still survive. I mean, yeah, he lost his arm, but he didn't lose anything vital. I mean, he could bleed to death in a couple hours, I guess, but it just doesn't seem like he could. Huh. Never mind. Word spreads of Grendel's defeat, and Hrothgar believes he's getting some action tonight. But the Queen denies him yet again.
My kingdom needs an heir, I need a son. It's time you did your duty.
How can I ever lay with you knowing you laid with her?
I wonder if these implications will have some kind of effect on the story. Nah. With the battle won, it seems that Beowulf's job in Denmark is done. Right? Well, no, because later in the night, after Beowulf has a strange dream, he wakes up to find all his men impaled on the ceiling. Well, there go all the expendable characters. Hrothgar informs Beowulf and Wiglaf that it was Grendel's mother who killed the Geats. So Beowulf and Wiglaf decide to hunt down Grendel's mother. Oh, and Beowulf and Umfr are now friends. Just figured I should mention that. The two make it to the cave, and Beowulf goes in alone, while Wiglaf stays outside, remaining constantly vigilant. What? Our hero enters the cave and manages to remove most of his clothing. Well, you can't blame him for being consistent. However, finding the remains of Grendel, Beowulf comes face to face with the monstrous mother. Well, hold on a second here. Nobody told Beowulf that Grendel's mother was going to be a woman. So, standing before Beowulf is Grendel's mother, played by Angelina Jolie. Grendel's mother tempts Beowulf with power and pleasure. And all this can be Beowulf's as long as he does two things. Give her the horn, and give this monster a child. However, being the hero that he is, Beowulf says no, and slays the beast.
I swear.
Beowulf, you missed your cue here. You're supposed to slay the beast, not sleep with her. So, you've seen it for yourselves. Beowulf dooms the land so he can get laid. Beowulf! Champion of champions! Beowulf returns to the kingdom, saying that he killed Grendel's mother, and everyone believes him. Well, everyone except Hrothgar. Why? Well, it could do with the fact that he himself did the same thing, and his monstrous offspring went by the name of Grendel. I'm just speculating here. If Beowulf's night wasn't any weirder, Hrothgar makes an announcement that he is making Beowulf the heir to the kingdom. Well, that seems like a drastic decision. Then again, maybe the king's been drinking one too many meads. I guess after giving it some thought, maybe the king will just reconsider his decision, and everything will be all... Nope, there he goes. Wait, he might be okay. Nope, he's dead. All hail King Beowulf. Beowulf is now king of Denmark, and with all that's happened, you'd think this would be a good time to reflect on the situation. But no, because we now have a time skip and 20 years have passed. Okay, I understand that time passes throughout the poem, but things are moving a bit too quickly for this movie, and it's just not working. Anyways, Beowulf and his men are fighting off some invading force. They're successful in repelling the enemy, but one warrior survived and takes his chance to challenge the king.
Plant your axe here, Vina Frisia. Take my life.
Alright, I've got to ask, what is Beowulf's dilemma here? What really has led the direction for this character? Is that time has passed by and he's not the man he used to be? I mean, that would be a little understandable if the story was done differently, but that's just not the case. Is he cursed in some way? I mean, Hrothgar was kind of the same way, which led to good old Odin to leap off a ledge. If that's the case, then how's he cursed? Is he haunted by Grendel's mother? Can he not die as long as the mother has the horn? Is he sterile? I mean, what is it? I'm sorry, I just feel like his character and the story for that matter is just a tad bit inconsistent. Well, after the battle, Beowulf meets up with his mistress. Beowulf, champion of... who gives a cuss? We also see that the queen is not happy, so no change there. In the evening, during the festivities, Unferth arrives to show Beowulf something. What is this something? Why, it just so happens to be the dragon horn, which can only mean good things are ahead.
Where? Up on the moors. But I was going to bring it back, Master. I swear.
Now, if you excuse the king, he needs to sneak out the back, go down the stairs, get into his emergency boat, and sail away and leave all his problems behind him. As Beowulf has dreams about a golden man, his mistress heads outside, where she has a conversation with the queen. Well, it's good to see that Robert Wright actually has some kind of character development in this. But out of nowhere, a town is under attack. Unferth survives, but tells Beowulf that it was a dragon that destroyed his home, which proves that another monster has come to destroy the land. Either that or Smaug got lost going to Lake Town. Beowulf prepares for battle, and his mistress begs him not to go. Then Beowulf just screams,
I am Beowulf!
Okay, I didn't say that, but it's been a while since he screamed his own name, alright? Then Beowulf is confronted by the queen, where the two have a conversation. And even through all their issues, Beowulf is still in love with the queen. Well, this would be a heartwarming moment if the two had more time together. And chemistry, for that matter. Beowulf and Wiglaf return to the cave, and once again, Wiglaf decides to stay outside to remain constantly vigilant. What? Beowulf enters the cave, where he meets the mother yet again. He gives the horn back to her in the hope that she will leave the land. And I'm quite confident that she will respect Beowulf's wishes.
Too late, my love.
I don't know about the rest of you, but something tells me that this was her plan all along. So Beowulf must fight his son the dragon. You know, Grendel's mother is a bit inconsistent with her offsprings. Hrothgar's was a 10-foot golem and Beowulf's is a gold dragon. What's next? A cyclops that can shoot fire from its eyes? Well, then again, she is called the mother of all monsters. The dragon flies to the kingdom, and Beowulf latches onto the creature in order to stop it. He doesn't seem to have the best of luck, as Beowulf dodges his men's arrows, gets thrown around, and even has to hold his breath as the creature submerges into the water. I'd say I'd be surprised with Beowulf's survival skills, but this is Beowulf we're talking about. But Beowulf remembers something that Hrothgar said to him, that the only way to kill a dragon is by removing its heart. Hrothgar clearly learned this weakness by watching Dragonheart. Beowulf tries to grab the heart, but he can't reach it. So, he plans to get an extension by removing his arm from its socket. But then he loses his sword. And it doesn't help things that the dragon has targeted both Damsel in Distress 1 and Damsel in Distress 2. Plus, Wiglaf is too busy shooting a slow motion scene. When everything looks bleak, Beowulf remembers one thing. He is Beaver! Beowulf! As Wiglaf makes it just in time to save the damsels, Beowulf is on the beach with his dead son, and about to die himself. And to think it wasn't being smashed around or burnt that killed him. Nope, it's the fact he's dying from blood loss after cutting off his own arm. Irony? Wiglaf makes it to the shore, and Beowulf has some last words for his friend.
You killed Grendel's mother when we were young. They sing of it. Too late for lies, Wiglaf. Too late.
Actually, the twist here is that Beowulf is not actually Beowulf at all, but a guy named Stu. He required a name by another Beowulf, who is in fact named Francis, and so on and so forth. But Beowulf passes away and receives a Viking funeral. As everyone begins to leave, King Weigloff sees his friends sink into the sea, but not until he sees a mysterious woman flying towards Beowulf. And so the cycle continues. Weigloff and Grendel's mother get together, and she gives birth to a magic carp. Well, moviegoers, that's Beowulf. And even though it's been years since I've endured it, I can safely say that my feelings about this animated epic have not changed. Beowulf is nowhere near Zemeckis' best work. Heck, it's not even as good as The Polar Express. What drags this film down is the execution of the story and characters. This adaptation of the epic poem doesn't seem to work well as a movie plot, as its direction was very inconsistent. Rather than being a story about Beowulf, the movie seemed to be more focused on its themes, which is fine, but those ideas are never clarified. It didn't help matters that the title character was not the most interesting hero to follow. However, can I say this movie is a complete wreck? Well, no, because the movie does have some merit to it. The animation, while dated, was effective. The motion capture managed to show off the actors' performances, and the animation did lead to some exciting moments. Also, while the characters themselves aren't that interesting, the actors' performances were decent as they do the best that they can. Plus, the score by Alan Silvestri did work for the movie's tone. Beowulf may not have been the worst film out there, but I felt that this animated epic could have been so much more, as Beowulf unclothes itself with only 2.5 hats out of 5. If you take anything away from watching Beowulf, it's that when in doubt, you can always strip naked and scream your own name in epic fashion. Not sure how useful that would be, but you never know. Well, there you have it. I'm Timdiana, and I guess that's it. Ah, cuss it. Yeah, I'm not ready to give this up. To tell you the truth, I've missed it, and there's just too much more to be done. So if I am going to go out, I'll go out on my own merits and my own time. So with that said, the best way to end this is simply saying, I'm Timdiana, and I think I'm quite ready for another cinematic adventure. Yes, the film adventurer is back, to endure it in search for credit, to boldly go where reviewers may or may not have gone before, to prove that there is more to some movies out there than meets the eye, and... You faded the black, haven't you? Huh. Am I gonna make this whole thing pointless? I guess it makes sense, it's been about a half hour already. Still, I feel kind of silly getting all dressed up and all that, but... Oh, alright. Okay then. We'll be back in about a week or so. And we'll continue from there. Okay? Alright. I wonder what's on tonight.